what is up, gangstas? Right now the moon is at 7.9% illumination in the sign of Taurus, which is why I chose you today for this reading. So let's kind of dive deep into your energy, see what you can expect, what messages you need to hear, and you know, what you're letting go of and what you're welcoming into your world. Also, right now, June 3rd, there's a planetary alignment happening right now, and as above, so below, right? So as the planets align, we also align with things that are energetically aligned with us, right? And so that is why you found me today. We are somehow energetically connected, quantum entangled, if you will. So let's see what do you need to hear? What's your vibe? Interesting. Interesting. We have polarity energy, right? We've got the light and the dark showing up for you. We have the void. Stop. Embrace winter, the great cosmic womb. If you are or have recently experienced a dark night of the soul, I feel like you're being called to reflection, right? I feel like you're being called to really sit with that energy and see what the lesson is in it. And we have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, one of my random hairs, the transmission and activation, right? So you, like, it's always darkest before the dawn, right? And right now you are on the brink of a breakthrough, right? And these breakthroughs can be challenging as fuck. Because it's like right before every breakthrough, right before success, there's going to be obstacles, there's going to be challenges. That's why people like always stop digging like right before they hit gold, you know? Because they feel like they've already put in so much effort and so much work, and they're like, well, I haven't gotten it now, maybe it's just not there. And it is there. You just got to push through that, right? You got to push through that dark night of the soul, that challenge, that obstacle that you're facing, or that you have faced. So let's see. I'm going to use my Thoth deck. This was actually designed by my boy Aleister Crowley, one of the greatest alchemists who ever lived. He was often confused for being a Satanist because he hung out with a lot of Satanists. But that's a cultist for you, right? Like, what was he supposed to do? Hang out with the Christians? But yeah, anyway, he was, you know, I mean, he had his flaws, as do us all, right? He wasn't a great man, but he was a great alchemist. So I guess I should write that. I should, what is the word? Relay that, I guess. The word eludes me, so I'm just sticking with the one that was there. Alright. So, let's see. Let's talk about it. Alright, so we have the full card. Uranus energy. This is Aries and Aquarius energy. Ground zero. Right? Which I really feel with that void card. Ground zero. The Fool card is about, either in your recent past or your current, like, present tense, there's an opportunity being presented, right? An opportunity to do something that's out of character for you. Something that might come off as impulsive or on a whim, you know. This could be positive, you know. This could also be negative. We don't really have a whole lot of context to what it is. So let's see, like, this is also taking a leap of faith in a new direction, exiting your comfort zone, which I feel is a positive thing. So let's see what the cards have to say about it. I'm seeing a butterfly in this Fool card, and to me, the butterfly really represents like breaking free of that cocoon and, you know, spreading your wings, a newfound freedom, a liberation, if you will. Okay, dokie. Could have done something impulsive. Something that perhaps you're not totally honest with yourself or others about. We've got the Prince of Wands in reverse. Or perhaps you haven't, like, talked about it, right? It could be something that's kind of, you don't really talk about it, but there was something that it felt like you did something on a whim or something impulsive. But the Hierophant in reverse, this is your energy. This is Taurus energy in reverse, which tells me that there's a lack of balance here. You could be feeling out of character. You did something out of character. And, with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Star card in reverse, Aquarius energy in reverse, it looks like to me that this was coming from a place of like not really wanting to do something on your own, right? Or it could have to do with also like not being responsible with your resources. With the Star in reverse, it was like during a time when you're kind of feeling like at a dark moment, right? And the dark night of the soul. You couldn't see the illumination of the star. There was a lack of hopefulness, right? This is also stepping outside of the bounds of your path, right? Your spiritual path, if you will. Which we've all done, right? We've all stepped out of the bounds. Okay, we've all done, you know, so like if you're beating yourself up over that, like don't, you know, don't, you know, it's all part of it. You know, the lessons, we're gonna do things that are out of character. We're gonna be impulsive. You might do impulsive spending or like debauchery or hedonistic, you know, whatever. Like, these things happen. So like be gentle on yourself. Don't like beat yourself up over like every little thing. Because I do feel like you're in your head about it with the Hierophant in reverse, or you're feeling like it was a mistake, like you shouldn't have done something. I don't know the extent of what it was. I feel that. So then we have the Empress card showing up. Venus energy, Aphrodite energy. So yeah, like if you perhaps experienced a breakup, you could have like had impulsive sex with somebody. or you could have like done something and that you weren't really feeling, right? It was just kind of like in the moment or whatever. With the Empress here, I see maternal energy showing up, and perhaps that's kind of like where your focus was, like, and perhaps that's why you're feeling the way you're feeling, like in your head about it, because perhaps somebody else was in your heart while somebody else was in your bed, right? Or something of that nature. I'm sorry if it's a little personal. Like, however, there's this energy that like there's an energy of regret here. And an energy of like not wanting to face the truth or talk about it, right? Not wanting to communicate what it was. So let's clarify this Empress energy. Right, because it's like, yeah, let's see. Maybe you're seeing them like kind of out living their best life. They're seemingly doing okay. They seem to be happy, creative, productive, kind of in their own vibe, right? And you're just kind of like not feeling that. So then we have the Wheel of Fortune. I see things kind of turning around for you, right? This is where you reach that turning point. I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune in the 0 in the Fool card. I'm seeing a new cycle for you. I'm seeing something very, very new. And perhaps this new cycle, this turn of events, this Wheel of Fortune, fortune favoring you this time around. It's really as a result of like, you didn't really do something wrong, but you have regrets about it, or you feel some kind of way about it. Perhaps you feel like it was wrong because you involved somebody else's feelings or whatever into the mix that you didn't necessarily want to hurt or whatever. With the 3 of Pentacles, I do see you trying to work something out, because there's like this balance in this connection, like of give and take. Also, you could be turning your attention to business, right? To work, to your finances, really focusing more on your business relationships over personal relationships. And this could really be a turning of events for you as well, where you're able to focus on the things that are within your realm of control, and the things that you know you're able to operate like the material realm a lot easier than the emotional realm as a Taurus, right? And also I'm seeing 3 cycles, right? 3, and this cyclical energy is kind of showing up in like all these cards. So there could be like 3 people involved, right? Like a third party kind of situation. 2 is a party, 3 is a crowd. Could be like some kind of love triangle. With the 8 of Cups and the art in reverse, right? The trump card art. Somebody could have walked away from a connection, and this could have created like creative blocks, either for you or for them, right? And it looks like walking away from a situation. When we deal with creative blocks, it's oftentimes because life feels stagnant and you're not inspired by it. Right? And it's almost like somebody lost a feeling of inspiration or motivation when somebody walked away from a connection here. Well, what's your advice? And perhaps it wasn't even you who... I just don't get the feeling that you like made a mistake. I just feel like you're feeling out of your energy. Or feeling like regret or like wishing things went a different way. And you got Aquarius energy twice in your reading with the Fool card and the Star card in reverse. So if you were dealing with an Aquarius, it could have come off as like impulsive or childish even. Aloof. Like they could have come off as just very like extreme for you, right? Which totally makes sense. They're an air sign, you're an earth sign. They don't believe in normal, and you love stability. Okay. You crave it. That's, you know, and so could be that too, like remorse that you weren't able to like align those energies to make something work. I'm seeing though that this not working out is also in your favor, right? With that Wheel of Fortune, this was actually a good thing, even if it hurt, even if it sucked. Something was learned for one or both of you, and you know, it's kind of funny about the connection between Taurus and Aquarius. And I actually happen to be an expert in this as an Aquarius who has dated a Taurus before. So, let me tell you, from the Aquarius viewpoint, Taurus is typically attracted to the Aquarius for their outlandish energy, their humor, their dorkiness, their weirdo-ness. They're attracted to that. They like that. However, when they're with you and they realize that there's no off switch to the quirkiness and the weirdness and the muchness, that's when they're like, wait, I thought you were quirky. I didn't realize that you're like out there. You know, you're always a dork. You don't take shit seriously, right? And that's from the perspective of the Taurus, right? I think, at least from my experience, I, as an Aquarius, don't take anything too seriously. Everything's a fucking joke, right? Tauruses hate that because they like to have serious connection, serious conversation, serious stuff. Aquarians are not like that. They're detached in that way. They're not going to want to be all serious all the time. Because life's a joke. You may as well laugh. You know? It's like trying to put Batman and the Joker in a relationship together, okay? Admittedly, from, like, so, you know, it's not necessarily that anybody's a bad person in said connection, just that there's an unalignment, alright? Like, you could be attracted to somebody for all these reasons, but those are the same reasons you walk away from them, right? Or vice versa. Like, the Aquarius is attracted to the Taurus because they're stable and grounded and brooding and serious. But then, if they walk away, that's exactly why, right? And it's so ironic that that's what happens. Like, we're attracted to the very traits that we walk away from, or that become the reason we walk away, right? It's a curse, really. A curse on the humans. That the very thing you love is the very thing you detest, right? So, I see you working through some feelings about this. We have 7 of Swords in reverse, which indicates to me that there wasn't like lying, cheating, stealing, anything like toxic like that, right? Or this could mean that this brought an end to it. But what I'm really feeling is like, there was an unalignment. And perhaps they became the very kind of person that you wanted right after it ended. Which happens. It happens. And it sucks, but it happens, right? Or vice versa. You became the very kind of person that they wanted. Or mutually, you know. That happens. We have the 3 of Cups in reverse. I see somebody dropping negative habits. Perhaps bringing in, going into hermit mode, you know, not socializing, not drinking, not, you know, doing, you know, and that could have been a reason for the issues. Aquarians are prone to substance abuse. Okay, that's a fact and a truth. Because they chase stimulus, right? And I'm sorry to any Aquarius cross watchers out there. But it's true, and I'm not gonna lie about it. We don't do that. Right? We don't lie about it. So, you know, there could have been like that, right? Where there was some kind of like unhealthy habits or unhealthy social conditions. We have the moon here, Pisces energy showing up, which tells me that something comes to light here, or something is illuminated on this path. Like seeing a situation in its entirety, right? Then we have the Death card in reverse, rebirth energy. Maybe somebody needed this experience to see the truth in their ways, right? To see like their own faults and to pull themselves out of that, right? Perhaps they needed to lose you in order to understand where they were falling short, right? Because perhaps they didn't see anything wrong with their behavior beforehand, and they needed that, right? Five of Wands. I'm seeing conflict. This could also be internal conflict, but it's like feeling like something was unresolved, right? Like there could have been a conflict that you felt like you didn't get closure on, or it was left unresolved. There's a lot left unsaid. Maybe you have a little peace of mind you want to give them, right? Do it. Give them your peace of mind. So that you can have peace of mind, right? We have Two of Pentacles. I see you kind of comparing and contrasting, right? You could be comparing two individuals. You could be comparing two different options. Could be weighing the pros and cons. However, this is about change, right? And this is about acceptance. And it requires a lot of thoughtfulness. So you could be like going back and forth in your head about something. Like, is this worth it? Is that worth it? Is this what I want? Is that what I want? Is this the right direction? Is that the right direction? Am I making the right choice? That's what I'm feeling coming from that Two of Pentacles. And it's like with the yin-yang energy here and the two sides, I'm seeing that there's like the options are so polar opposite, right? Like what you're going back and forth with in your mind about is so opposite. And maybe that's why it's hard to pin down the right answer or to know for certain. We have Queen of Swords in reverse with the Adjustment in reverse. I see somebody's had an attitude adjustment. Queen of Swords, Queen of Air, right? More of that Aquarius energy popping right through. Strong Aquarius in your reading. But like they could be having a change of attitude, a change of behavior, right? 'Cause with the Adjustment in reverse, like they recently adjusted something. And Queen of Swords is very cold, very callous, quick to cut people off without even second guessing it. They're like, oh, you don't like my attitude? Bye. You know? You don't like what I have to offer? Bye. And that's, I know that sounds cold, but the Queen of Swords is very emotionally detached for survival reasons, right? Which is very unlike the Taurus. Taurus is, you guys feel shit, right? You guys understand attachment. You understand caring about something to that extent. So maybe you're noticing a change in somebody's behavior or attitude. And it's making you kind of go back on, you know, something. Go back and forth in your head. Now we have the Prince of Cups. You could be younger than them. With the Prince of Cups, though, it's like having that youthful kind of love, right? That kind of naive kind of love, right? Maybe this individual, like, had opened that up in you, right? Made you feel young. Even if maybe you aren't physically younger, they made you feel young. They made you feel that excitement in your soul. They awakened your heart, right? They made you feel that, like, Romeo and Juliet kind of shit, you know. With the Five of Cups in reverse, I feel that you don't feel you would be disappointed in the same way. Or I feel that you could have had to heal, you know, from the disappointment, from feeling left out in the cold, from that feeling of abandonment. I feel that you could be healing that part of yourself. But it's hard to reawaken that youthful love feeling that you had, right? And it's not fair to compare people. Just saying. Everyone's different. Every experience is going to be different. If you had yourself an Aquarius, that's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience you had. And I bet it was a roller coaster. I bet it was crazy. You loved it. Also, you didn't. Alright, what's your advice? The thing about Aquarians too is they won't change for you. On their own, they'll change for themselves. Right? They'll change only for themselves, really. There's not another individual in the world that can make them change, you know, or put rules on them, or they just don't operate like that. We have Princess of Wands in reverse and the Prince of Wands in reverse. You could have felt that this person was like your soulmate. But then you also felt like there's no communication between you with both Wands in reverse, right? Because Wands in the upright is about open and honest communication. The Wands in reverse is like not having that, right? And so perhaps that's part of what's going on. Like, you feel like you didn't get to properly communicate something, or you're just not communicating with each other. With the Three of Swords in reverse, I feel that they also had to heal, right? There's like, this is like mending a broken heart, or three, right? Three of Swords. So there's the mending of broken hearts here. Yeah, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. There's somebody here, somebody else, right? This is Earth energy showing up. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. And it looks like they depend on you, right? In some way, they like rely on you. They lean on you. Perhaps in the way that you had hoped this past person did. but that past person wasn't able to be vulnerable in the same way that this person is. And with the Ace of Swords in reverse, I feel that your advice here is to not take a certain action, right? Ace of Swords is about taking action. And it's specifically air energy that, you know, perhaps you're being advised to, like, not open old wounds. Or not do something that you could regret. Like, as much as you might reminisce about the good times and the things that you miss, like, also remember what you don't miss. Also remember the things that were challenging for you. The things that you perhaps didn't like, you know, because you want a holistic and realistic perspective here. Alright, anything else before we close this out? We have the Eight of Wands in reverse, which tells me that something's kind of slow moving, right? Which tells me that perhaps something needed to take time to develop, right? It's like a Polaroid picture. It takes time to develop. And with the Lovers, right? Gemini energy. This is mature love. This is like strong, life-altering, like real partnership and commitment. And so perhaps your new connection doesn't feel like your old connection, but there's stability in it. And there is a genuine energy of like leaning on each other and being vulnerable with each other in a certain way, and allowing yourself that kind of love that doesn't hurt, right? That kind of love that doesn't shake up your whole world and make you feel crazy, right? Alright, so let's pull some Kali cards, see what the Kali has to say about it. By Ravi Yogini. Face your fears, for it is the right time, and you are ready to overcome them. You will be given the power to fulfill your heart's desires. Embrace your path with confidence. Healing around belonging and abundance is taking place within your soul. You are spiritually protected from toxic energies. Recognize your inner divine badass and commit to your dreams with conviction. Dharma of Kali. Your most abundant successes manifest when you are aligned with your integrity. You do not need to put your faith in pathways or projects that do not resonate with your deeper spiritual knowing. Everything that is happening in your life is part of how your prayers are being answered. A new order is to be established and you are being led into it. And that is what I have for you. Namaste. I love you all. You got this. Ain't nobody gonna get you down, alright? Because you're the bull, right? Ain't nobody gonna bring down the bull, right? You're a tough guy, or a tough girl, or a tough them, right? You're a toughie. So, acknowledge that strength within you. You can overcome anything. No matter what. As long as you're breathing, you can overcome shit. So yeah, namaste. I love you all. I'll see you later.